Hi there, this is Julie with PhotoFabPaperFlowers, and thank you for watching. In this video, we're going to create a 1 3/4 inch mini flower or micro flower because it's smaller than our traditional ones of about 3 inches, 2.5 inches. So these are great for some 4-inch wood magnets or your smaller arrangements, a boutonniere, or any of your projects. So you're going to cut everything and set up your machine, the project in your machine's design space with the sizes notated at the beginning of this video. There's also a link in the description below on a link to a PDF instruction document with the sizes and written instructions as well. And that's available in my PhotoFabPaperFlowers makers group on Facebook. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, you're going to cut everything according to the images at the beginning of this video, and you're going to style all 12 petals of petal 3 of the Chrysanthemum Mini Flower the same way. So we're going to take our metal ball stylus tool. They come in a set of 4 and they are available in my Etsy shop. And we're going to take the smallest. So there's for the smallest one, there's 2 different ends. This is the smallest, and then this is the second to smallest. So we're going to choose the second to smallest. And literally all you're going to do is start at the top of the petal and pull it down towards the center. And you're going to do that for all 12 petals. So you're just going to go around. Again, you start at the top and just roll that down on your flower shaping mat. And again, if you need any tools, I do have them available in my in my Etsy shop. Oh my goodness. Go down from the top, and then if you need to, because the petals get too close or you're having trouble, you can always use the smallest one and just roll right down. It pulls and lifts and curls the petal all at once. And then just roll the center. And then you have all 12 petals, again, are exactly styled like that. For our 2 centers, and again, it's a Chrysanthemum Mini Flower, we're going to stack them. And we're going to take our bone folder and you're going to curl them like you're curling ribbon or your lashes. So we don't pull that hard when we're curling our lashes, right? So it's going to have like a nice little bend, like a wave. Okay, separate them. Take your slotted quilling tool, thread one end into the slotted quilling tool. Okay, you're going to roll it towards you a few times. You can add glue, or because this is much smaller, we can just roll the entire center. And you're going to secure the end with hot glue. I did get a big glob of glue, but we should be fine. Now we're going to add glue to our second center. And we're going to attach it right where the last one ended, and I do overlap that slightly. You're going to keep that bottom edge aligned to the bottom the best you can. Roll it all the way towards you and secure the end. And then we're just going to press down either with it on the slotting quilling tool or when you if you remove it. So it's just going to give it more of a light bulb shape. So you can remove it. And this is just kind of fill up our center of our flower. And then we're going to set that down. We're going to take one of our petals And we're going to take a piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire. I cut mine down because these are much smaller flowers, so I figure I probably won't use them. I won't need a large or a long stem. So you take your needle nose pliers, place that 18 gauge floral stem wire in between. Okay. Roll it to create a hook. I call it a shepherd's hook. Okay, place it back in between your needle nose pliers. You're going to close that loop and then I straighten it out. Okay, and then it looks like that. Place it back in your needle nose pliers. Bend it 90 degrees like a corner. Now this flower we create on our floral stem wire. So we're going to take one of our centers here. We're going to use a piercing scoring tool. These are available at your local Dollar Tree in a 2-pack. This is the thicker one. And you'll be able to see the difference. Pierce a hole in the center. And then you're going to thread your 18 gauge floral stem wire right through that petal. So again, they're all the same size. We're going to add a little bit of hot glue on the underside of your loop. Thread your petal all the way through and make sure it's secure. And now we're going to glue our center. So it's going to fill it up in there. So we're going to add hot glue to the bottom and around that bottom lip. Place it in the center, and then I'm going to pull up and around. And then I press around the bottom. And then I kind of play around with it to shape it again into that light bulb shape, just so it's a little bit more rounder. It should look like that. And now we're just going to continue to add all of these on. So as we assemble, we're just going to pierce the hole in the center, thread it onto your floral stem wire, and we're going to add glue to the bottom and a little bit around the sides, because again we have 12 layers and we want the layers in the very center of our flower to be up and around the top of the flower, if that makes sense. So when we assemble, we're going to try and look between two petals and put our petals in between there, so that that petal goes in between the previous layer's petals, and then pull up and around and press it along the bottom. So I am going to cut off a little bit of my bottom. Just so I have a clean bottom to work with. And now we're just going to continue to add our petals. It's always when I'm filming, nothing goes smoothly. There we go. Add glue to the bottom around your floral stem wire. And again, I go a little bit around the side. So you can just hold your stem, hold your glue gun, and then twirl your stem. Again, look at the previous layers and try and place those petals in between. And then pull up and around. Now you can make these in any color. It's not a, I was inspired by a flower I saw at the grocery store, and that was in a bright green color. But you can make these in any color that you want. That's what's so much fun about paper flowers. There's always endless possibilities. Now we're just going to start adding the glue to the bottom. You don't necessarily have to go around the sides. And again, we're going to look at our previous layer's petals. And pull it up in between. Press on the bottom to make sure that's secure. And then I just pull them up and around. Pierce your hole with the piercing scoring tool on your flower shaping mat, and we just continue to thread and add our petals. Add your glue to the bottom. And again, we're going to look between the two petals and pull. Place them in between the previous layers. Add your glue to the bottom. So again, just hold your glue gun and twirl your stem. Thread the petals up and place them in between the previous layer's petals. Sometimes I do flip it over. It's easier to see where you're putting your petals. Again, these end up being small. Sometimes they're more open, but it'll start to open. Again, we have 12 layers. So this is the Rose paper pack by Recollections from Michaels. It is the 50 pack of the color Rose. So it's a nice blush pink. Again, hold your glue gun and then pull the trigger, and then you just twirl. And we'll just continue that process. And if it's easier, you can flip your flower over, and then I can look at 2 petals and place the petal right in between. Of course, as our flower opens, it's gonna not be curled up as much. So making some smaller or micro flowers gives you many different options for different projects that you're working on. Place the petals in between the previous layers the best you can. Add your glue to the bottom and then thread the petals down. And then your last petal. So we had 2 centers and 12 petals of petal 3. It's not a hard flower at all to make or even style. And then for our sepal, and this also comes with the Chrysanthemum Mini Flower template, we're gonna roll up with something skinnier than a 1/8 inch dowel rod, or you can use a piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire. Now I'm just going to use what we call the Julie dowel rod. So in my 12-inch dowel rod set or my 6-inch dowel rod set, this is the one that's not colored. So place it down. I like to go at an angle on the sepal, and then I just pinch around it. I flip it over. We're going to pierce a hole in it with your piercing scoring tool. Thread it onto your 18 gauge floral stem wire, which is our stem here. And we're going to add the glue, but as close to that stem wire in the center here as possible. And I like to assemble my sepals with the petals rolled under. I just like that look. Of course, for whatever purpose that you're using it for, you can always do it up. Totally up to you. Now, optionally, you can ink to distress or age your flower. So I like, my 2 favorites are Vintage Photo Distress Oxide and Ground Espresso. So I like to start with the Vintage Photo. Use your finger dabber, and you can tell I've been using this one. It's nice because it keeps the ink. And just brush it up. Now, depending again on your project, you may not want to ink. It's totally up to you. Or if you're using a darker color. And then I like to go through and add just a little bit of Ground Espresso. It's a nice little bit darker color. And there you have it. And that's creating a smaller flower using the Chrysanthemum petal number 3. And she would be beautiful in a boutonniere, if you didn't stem it, you could also use it on your littler magnets or even in bouquets as a filler flower. So thank you for watching.